down? Let's get things kicked off here with this, with a bit of a off the top, if you will. We weren't planning on talking about this, but this literally just rolled in 30 seconds before we started the show. So Superman, of course, hit theaters, the second biggest comic book movie openings since the end of 2022. I think the only comic book movie in the last number of years that had a better opening weekend was Deadpool and Wolverine, which did it by quite a bit. Also, like one of the highest opening weekends of any film of the last couple of years as well. But as we said on the show before, the kryptonite for this movie is going to be its international. Obviously, it's doing great domestically, but it's falling a little bit further behind internationally. Kind of expect that with the Superman title, especially right now with, well, let's be honest, America's not the favorite neighbor on the block right now with the rest of the world. So it's going to hurt it a little bit, but still, it's been kind of rolling. Yesterday, we found out that, Rob, I think you were telling me it was about 15 million it made on a Monday.
Almost 13.
Almost 13, which made it, I think, the second biggest Monday of the year. Well, now this just came out. Superman has earned the highest Tuesday box office of any film in 2025 with a domestic pull of just on Tuesday of $17.1 million. That's a $30 million total on Monday, Tuesday, which again, by the way, would mark the highest Monday, Tuesday combo of any film of the year so far. You know, Rob, we suspected, at least domestically, that this thing is going to probably have pretty good legs rolling into the weekend, because really all it's got coming up against it is I Know What You Did Last Summer and Smurfs. And when I checked, I Know What You Did Last Summer had like a 43% and Smurfs had like a 31%. And I honestly expect those numbers to drop. So I don't think it's going to have much headwind. I think it's going to do pretty well there, but it's even doing strong during the week, because I'll be honest with you. I think you and I were talking about this. I said, you know, us comic book movie fans, when we want to see a new comic book movie, we tend to rush out to see it in the first 48 hours that it's out. And I was kind of half expecting it to do well on its second weekend, but not so well during the week.
Well, what did I say?
You said, yes, it will. I'm paraphrasing.
Families.
And the families are going out on the Mondays and Tuesdays. And again, I mean, you're putting in context of all of its contemporaries, the best performance on a Monday, Tuesday of any film this year. That's better than I thought it would do.
Well, you know, I have read on social media that there's a lot of people that have said my family took the kids, took the wife, my family went out, and we all loved it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you see that a lot all over the place.
And I think that you're, and I always said that. I mean, you couldn't look, as much as we love Man of Steel, those movies were not exactly the feel-good movies of the summer for families to go see.
Right.
You know, whereas this...
And that was reflected in the audience scores and everything.
Absolutely. And this movie's fun. You know, for those of us who are open-minded a little bit, you know, well, it's fun. You got crypto. And I know there's a lot of people that object to, and I've read some really great criticism of the film as well. I'm not saying that. There's a lot of people that the tone of it is not what they wanted for a Superman movie.
Sure, it's not. Yeah, no tone is going to be for everybody.
And I can understand that, but I keep going back to the fact that I did not want a funny Justice League comic in the mid '80s. J.M. DeMatteis and Keith Giffen gave us a comedy Justice League that Kevin McGuire, basically his debut, the way he drew faces, and I was totally won over. It was a hoot. It was hilarious. It was very different than what I wanted, and the idea of it I would reject. But then when I finally got into the comic, it became one of my favorite comics, and I think James Gunn's taking some cues from that. And you just have to be open-minded about certain things, I think. And families are buying into this because it's fun.
Here's a question I have for you. Like, it did great on the Monday and Tuesday. How do you see it performing midweek now in the second half of the week? Now we're getting into the Wednesdays and Thursday. Thursday is when I Know What You Did Last Summer and Smurfs open up. How do you see it holding on right now?
Well, the thing is, I think Smurfs are for younger audiences.
Right.
But the thing about Superman is we're in the summer, John. We're in the middle of the summer months, literally in the middle of July, which is the height of the summer. It's hot out. People want to go to the movies. There's a fun Superman movie in the theater. So if someone gets shot in the head, you know, it's still a fun movie. And I think parents are taking kids. Kids like it because it's edgy enough that it doesn't feel like, well, a Smurfs movie. And they feel like they're getting something out of it. They're seeing something crazy and wacky and fun and crypto and Superman and Mr. Terrific and a pocket universe and buildings falling down. You've got a big rift with a proton river. I mean,
Well, don't give too much away.
sorry. I mean, there's just a lot. Robots. By the way, have you noticed on social media they've been showing clips that aren't in the movie?
I have not.
There's like a clip. There's one of Crypto sleeping.
Oh,
in
I
the
saw
air,
that.
And he falls.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like he's asleep and he falls down.
But he floats
he's
in
floating
his
in
sleep.
the air and he wakes up and he falls out of the sky.
that's adorable.
And then there's another one where Crypto's digging. He goes into the, like, it's where he wrecked the Fortress of Solitude. And he goes in and then one of the Superman robots sticks its head out of the hole that he's dug, like he was already in there. There's a lot of this movie that we haven't seen.
Well, I was doing part 2 of my Superman open spoiler discussion last night, and people asked, do you think there's going to be like a gun cut extended edition? I said, I don't know if there's going to be an extended edition, but I do expect there to be a lot of lot of bonus footage. I think there's going to be a lot of deleted scenes as a side thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Guys, question is for you. Superman's doing pretty well so far. Best performance midweek of any film so far this year. How do you think that's going to hold up rolling into the weekend? And how much is the less than stellar response for it internationally going to have on its overall totals? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.